What if death wasn't the end? What if instead of dying forever, you could hit pause on your body, freeze it, and come back to life in 100 years? That's not science fiction anymore. That's the idea behind cryonics. Cryonics is a process of preserving a human body, or sometimes just the brain, at an extremely low temperature after legal death, with the hope that future science might one day revive the person. It's not immortality, but a second chance and a second shot at life. Here's how it works. Once a person is declared legally dead, time is everything. A standby team rushes in to begin the preservation process. First, the body is cooled using ice water to slow down cellular decay. Then, the body is replaced with cryoprotectant chemicals, essentially a kind of a medical antifreeze. This is crucial because if the body was frozen directly, ice crystals would form and destroy cells and tissues. Cryoprotectants prevent that by allowing the body to be cooled without forming damaging ice. Next, the body is gradually cooled down over several hours or even days to almost 196 degrees Celsius, the temperature of liquid nitrogen. At this point, metabolic activity is practically zero. The body or the brain is then placed in a vacuum-insulated steel container called a Devers tank, filled with liquid nitrogen. It can remain there for decades, centuries, indefinitely, waiting for the day science could catch up. Now let's be clear, no one has ever been revived from cryopreservation. The science to bring back someone does not exist yet. That's why cryonics is more of a medical experiment than a proven procedure. It is a leap of faith, a bet that tomorrow's breakthrough will solve today's impossible. Still, people have taken that leap. The first person to ever register for cryopreservation was Dr. James Bedford, way back in 1967. His body is still preserved today. Since then, others have followed, including Ted Williams, the American baseball legend. Tech entrepreneur Peter Thiel and futurist Ray Kurzweil have also expressed interest in cryonics, hoping that future medicine and AI might one day reverse the effects of death. One of the most well-known cases in world of cryonics is that of Methrin Naovarapong, also known as INS. She holds the tragic distinction of being the youngest person ever to be cryogenically frozen. At just 2 years old, INS was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Despite multiple surgeries and treatments, her condition became untreatable. Her parents, both scientists, made a hopeful decision to have her cryogenically preserved. Today, companies like Alcor, Cryonics Institute, and Tomorrow Bio offer these services. Some people choose to preserve their whole bodies, while others opt for neuropreservation, just the brain, under the idea that personality and memories are stored there. But not everyone's convinced. Many scientists argue that freezing process itself causes irreplaceable damage, especially to the brain. There are questions about whether memories, identity, and consciousness could ever be truly restored, even if the body is. Ethicists question whether the right to give people hope for revival when no such technology exists is right, and critics say it is just a privilege for the rich. Another attempt to escape mortality while real-world healthcare problems go unsolved. Even so, cryonics movement continues to grow slowly, quietly, but steadily. More people are signing up, more companies are offering services, and an increasing number of scientists are exploring the possibility of long-term preservation and regeneration. In the end, cryonics is not just about science, it's about belief. The belief that death does not have to be final, that the future might be kinder, more advanced, more capable of healing. Whether it works or not, cryonics capture one of the oldest human desires, to outturn time, to push back against the inevitable, and to dream boldly of waking up in a world that hasn't ever been imagined. This is all from us today. This is Nidhi for the Asian Chronicle.